Good morning. 6:30 is the time here on this Thursday. If you're waking up and don't have your eyes quite open, yes, those were goat sounds. They are not coming from your house. Those are coming from the television.
Yeah.
Well,
you might have a goat. We don't know.
Yeah, there's a caveat there. You might have goats.
Yes. But I think maybe I figured out the goat yoga thing.
Oh, you did?
What if it's yoga for goats? Is that what it is?
Oh.
That's not what it is?
No.
Well, I bet a goat could do downward dog. You think?
I have not understood this story at all morning long. I'm trying to make it work.
Namaste.
I think you should just give up, Nate,
I did.
and just accept it.
Poor Nate.
Accept what is and move on.
Yes.
Okay.
That is so philosophical, Sherry.
Well, sometimes you just got to give in.
You're going to get my goat. That's
just
what's going to
give
happen.
up the goat,
There you
Nate.
go.
Give it up. All right, let's take a look at our last sunrise of summer for 2022. That's right, fall is not officially here yet. Isn't it gorgeous? It is so pretty outside. We had a few breezes out on the west side, but those have calmed down. It is nice and clear. Let's enjoy our last 11 and a half hours of summer, shall we? Lots of 70s, but also lots of 60s, too. It's kind of split, half and half. This is just a sampling of some of our valley neighborhoods. West Henderson on St. Rose Parkway, still a little breezy there. I got to remember not to touch the screen. 66 degrees there. 70s from Nellis to North Las Vegas to Harry Reid. Kiddos, it is a very nice morning. 70 is the average. I kind of averaged the 60s and 70s. Clear, a little cooler this morning. Not as windy this afternoon. Lots of good sunshine. 91 is what we're aiming for, right at normal for our last afternoon of summer. And we'll talk about the arrival of fall and then the warm-up that's coming right behind it. All right, let's get to the roads. Check the drive. Here's Nate with a look right now.
Okay, you can touch the screen. Don't swipe the screen.
Maybe that's it.
Yeah, you were swiping the
That's
screen.
it. I like to
when
swipe.
When you do that.
There you go.
Hey, there's Houston traffic. That's not what we're here for. We're here for your traffic, and that includes the freeways getting a little more crowded. And here's that red spot that is very annoying. Hopefully, if this is your ride every day, you figured this out. We're talking about the westbound 215. Now, the through lanes are great as you're going past Las Vegas Boulevard, past the 15 to Decatur and beyond. But if you're looking to get off on Las Vegas Boulevard or on the 15, that ramp is down to one lane. It's been this way for weeks, so just get used to it. That delay, we don't know when that's going to be changing. Now, coming up in our next report, a huge delay on the Strip. The northbound lanes are closed from Trop to Flamingo. We'll talk about it in our next report, Heather.
Maybe Houston does look better, Nate.
It might.
Thank you. The Federal Reserve announced another jumbo interest rate hike affecting things like car loans, mortgages, your credit cards. And Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell made that announcement yesterday, as anticipated. It's the latest effort to curb raging inflation rates, but it's also causing a dip in the stock market, leaving a lot of folks concerned about what it means for their 401k and retirement plans. UNLV economics professor Stephen Miller says this has the power to really impact those who are ready to cash out their 401k because they're also facing a higher cost of living.
They're going to be hurt by this, not because of the stock market, but rather because the Fed is going to be controlling inflation through aggressive policy.
Miller says no matter how close you are to retirement, he recommends having a myriad of investments with different risk levels. He says while it is impossible to predict, he and other experts are hoping to see the economic climate level out by the end of 2023. The National Association of Realtors reported home sales dropped in August. It's the 7th month in a row. Stubbornly high home prices along with higher mortgage rates are some of the key factors in why prospective home buyers are being pushed out of the market. Metro Police have identified the 2 officers that were involved in a recent shooting. This is video from the scene. We do have body camera video as well, but a warning, it does contain gunshots. Dozens of gunshots. Metro Police say officers Marlon Salazar and Devonta Gleason fired at a suspect who was carrying a pistol. And in that video there, you see the suspect. That's 37-year-old Stephen Travato running away from officers. Assistant Sheriff John McGrath says the officers could not take any chances.
That's a high crime area where we knew that there's been an increase in burglaries and auto burglaries. So that's why the officers are going there. And then he confronted us with his weapon before we could even talk to him.
Travato remains in police custody while he's hospitalized. He did have outstanding warrants and is now facing new charges as well.
All right, Heather, a man in Henderson is fighting for his life. He was hurt in a hit-and-run bicycle crash, and police are asking for your help to track down the driver with a really odd set of circumstances.
It happened a week ago Sunday night. That was September 11th at St. Rose and Maryland Parkway. 9/11, certainly a tough day for anyone, especially those with a tie to law enforcement. And now it's even harder for this local family who responded to that terrorist attack 21 years ago and are now fighting to keep their husband and father alive. Here's our Ryan Matthey.
I see a perfectly healthy, functioning man who is laying there incapacitated, unable to communicate, and unable to move.
Jennifer Vobis hopes her husband, 53-year-old Mark Vobis, will recover. He was a first responder on 9/11 in New York City. Decades later, first responders came to his aid after he was hit riding his bike. Henderson police say he was struck from behind just before 8 at night, the driver taking off.
It feels really unfair.
More than a week later, markings from the scene remain where Mark was found unresponsive. Pieces of his bike still there.
It sounds like there's a lot of missing pieces in this investigation. Is that right?
Absolutely there are, yes.
Evidence that Henderson police officer and traffic investigator Mark Rasmussen says are far and few between. The location not near business or residential cameras.
Is there the possibility, because of the entire situation, that you would not be able to solve this?
There is a possibility, but we don't want to give up hope, and we're certainly not going to stop where we're at. We're going to continue to investigate this as long as we can.
If you could speak to your husband right now, if he was to become conscious again, what would you tell him right now?
I would tell him I love him, that we will get through this. To be strong. We'll figure it out.
Ryan Matthey, 8 News Now.
Henderson Police asking you to help out. Any information, call Crime Stoppers, 702-385-5555. You can remain anonymous. There are cash rewards for information leading to an arrest. Heather.
Still to come here on Good Day is something new coming to a strip marketplace. But what about all the people who are already running shops there? We're going to hear from local business owners as soon as we come back. Jerry?